I'm going to give you 4 cheat codes that you can use to build your dream physique as fast as possible. It's taken me literally years to understand the information I'm about to tell you and transform my physique. I don't regret the path that I took, but if I had had the knowledge I'm about to give to you, I could have accomplished so much more in so much less time. You need a supportive community. Okay, that's number 1. I know a lot of people don't really think about this, but when I first got started in the gym, right? I went with one of my friends and we were working out together. Everything was going great. And I really had that support network and between me and my friends to be able to work out in the gym. But eventually they stopped going. And so when they stopped going, I stopped going because I didn't have a community to support me or a group of friends or people I knew going to the gym to support me. So you need a supportive community. You need to have people so that you're not alone on the journey and so that you have someone or multiple people to relate to. All right, so another great reason that you need community is because you need to stay accountable. You need people to hold you accountable. Think of all the times that you've skipped the gym, that you haven't weighed in, that you haven't counted your macros and your calories and whatnot, right? Or you haven't just updated the information that you needed to or done progress pictures. All these things that you've skipped. And trust me, I've done this too. And then I've made the mistake. That's how I know that it's something that you really need to do. If you don't have a community to help keep you accountable or someone to help keep you accountable, you're literally taking the amount of time it's going to take for you to build your dream physique and basically at least multiplying it times 2, right? It's going to at least take twice as long to build that physique if you don't have the accountability that you get from a community. The last reason why you should really consider getting a network of people who are also going to the gym or a community, whether that be online, whether that be in person, whether that be family or friends, is you really want to have a community because think of all the times that you may have been in the gym, right? So I've been in the gym before with me and my friends, and one of my friends will hit like a PR and I'll be like, whoa, like this, he just hit a PR. Then my other friend hits a PR. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then I hit a PR. What happens is when you have a community of people all headed towards and working on the same goal, right? Say you have your friend hits like a PR. What happens is you get inspired. So you get inspiration from being part of a community. And there's also a sense of competition, right? Where you don't want to be the lowest person, the lowest status person, right? And so you can hack that sort of primitive part of your brain where it says, I don't want to be the lowest status person by surrounding yourself with people who are also pushing towards that goal, right? And so if you have a community of people to kind of compete with, quote unquote compete with, but we're not really here to compete with each other, but it's just that sort of level in your brain where it's like, I don't want to be last, right? I don't want to be in last place. So it really forces you to kind of push that limit and push past what you feel comfortable. So having a community is really important for the inspiration and the sort of motivation and competition that you get within it. All right, man, so the next thing that you need if you want to build your dream physique, okay, another cheat code is to understand how dopamine works, right? In this modern age, there's so much cheap dopamine available, right? Between, just food that's available, alcohol, drugs, weed, porn, all these sorts of things, right? TV, all these things will distract you. And not only will they distract you, but it'll make it harder for you to kind of build that dream body you want to build. So why is it that cheap dopamine is such a big problem? Well, think about it this way. If you're day after day after day eating a bunch of junk food, well, that's not really going to be good for your body. And yet your brain is going to be telling you, I need to keep doing this, right? I need to keep doing this. Or if you're trying to get lean, it's going to be hard to get lean if you're constantly hooked on that cheap dopamine of doing alcohol, of eating junk food and processed foods, because it's high in sugar, it's high in fats, and your body wants that. Your brain craves it because it doesn't understand that it's not good for it, right? So understanding how to control cheap dopamine is really key in building a great physique. If you want to actually get ripped, if you want to actually lose fat, you need to learn how to control your dopamine so that you aren't constantly going after junk food, right? You aren't constantly going after alcohol, which will make your situation way worse, right? You're not constantly going after weed, which will cause you to binge, right? And I've done all these things, right? I'm not perfect. I still do these things. Sometimes I mess up, So it's not about being perfect. It's about managing it to a point where you can get things under control. So controlling cheap dopamine is really key, but so is doing the exercises for the right muscles at the right time, with the right rest times, with the right split. And I don't have time to go into all that in this video, but if you want my personal workout routine that I've used to transform my physique at no cost, check the first link in the description. So the third thing you want to focus on, if you want to get your dream body fast, right, and you want to skip all the bullshit and you want to just get there as fast as possible and avoid all the mistakes I made, is your health. Now, exercise is a part of health and lifting weights is important, but that is not the only thing that's going to get you there. That is not the most important thing, right? It's not enough to just lift weights and exercise. You need to be focused on a couple things. Number one is sleep. You need to understand how to get the proper amount of sleep and get the proper amount of rest so that your muscles can actually rebuild, right? You can't get to your dream physique if you're constantly exhausted, right? That's going to really impact your ability to get to where you want to go. So understanding sleep is really important. The next thing obviously would be diet, right? I don't want to get deep into diet right now because this is not the place for it, right? I want to just say one thing. You need to focus on foods that are whole foods, right? What I did was I focused on getting into whole foods, trying to stay away as much as possible from processed shit. Now, in reality, the way it works when you go to family gatherings or you're going to social events is you will find that you're going to eat junk food. So the way I think about it is 80%, 20%. 20% of the time I can do, quote unquote, let loose a little bit, maybe get some ice cream or some cake or a dessert here and there, right? The rest of the 80% of the time, your day, the way it's structured in terms of what you're eating in your diet should be whole unprocessed foods, right? It's just simple, right? I'm not going to get into carnivore, keto, freaking vegan, all that right now. All I'm saying is focus on whole unprocessed foods and you will be amazed at how easy it is to transform your physique, right? A lot of the problems we see in modern day society are because people are literally eating poison, right? They're eating trash every single day. Throughout their whole day, they're eating trash. So don't be that kind of person. Focus on whole foods and focus on foods that are highly nutritious. The other aspect of your diet that's really important is making sure you consume enough water and making sure that whatever diet you're on, you get enough protein. This is just kind of basic stuff that everybody knows, right? But you need enough protein, you need enough water, and those things are really key. And it's more about setting up systems, right? And that's the fourth point. The fourth hack, the fourth cheat code, if you will, to transform your physique and transforming your body as fast as possible is to make sure that you're staying consistent and you have time management and you have all these different types of things, right? So the first thing is what I call the vision system. The vision system is you have a vision of the physique that you want to achieve, right? I don't really recommend, and for me, it just doesn't make any sense to go online and try to look at people. You can, I guess I kind of do it a little bit, but understand even if you're looking at these people online as like a model for what you want to achieve, probably more than half these people are on steroids, right? Or they're doing something because their lives literally depend on how their physiques look, and they're not going to mess up, the bag that they're getting just to say like, oh, I'm natty or whatever. So understand most of the people that you're seeing are either like freaks in terms of their genetics, right? They just got super lucky in terms of their genetics, or they're on steroids. So just understand that when you're looking for someone to kind of look up to in terms of their physique. And for me, what I do is, I keep this physique in sort of in the back of my mind when I go to the gym as to, what I'm working towards, because you want to have a vision that you're moving towards. So you need goals to move forward. And while having a vision is really important of where you're heading, it's really important that you have goals that match that, right? Because that's how you're going to get there. And having a time management system that will actually keep you on track, right? Reminders, you can use Google Calendar. I like to use Google Calendar a lot. I use that in combination with like a habit tracker, writing my goals down, having a vision. This whole system, the vision system, is something that you really want to have to accelerate your speed, because if you don't have something to keep you on track in terms of like time management, right? Time management throughout your day, and you have sort of a bigger vision of where you're heading, it can get either really mundane or you're just so inconsistent that you don't really see results. You need consistency. If you say you're going to the gym 4 days, 5 days a week, you need to make sure you get there. And how do you do that? You need to have systems that keep you on track. This also bounces back to why you need a community, because a community will help you stay accountable. So find friends, right? Find family members to go to the gym with you. Find people online, right? Online communities even. Find these places where you can be held accountable and you will see great results. So let's do a quick recap. The 4 things and the 4 cheat codes to get your dream physique as fast as possible is: number 1, have a supportive community, right? You need to be held accountable. You need friends and people to relate with along your journey, right? And you need to be inspired and have like that level of kind of competition to really push yourself. The second thing that you need is to figure out how to control cheap dopamine so that you're not constantly on this cheap dopamine ride and then you end up not wanting to go to the gym or constantly overeating and eating horrible foods. The third thing, of course, is going to be your health, managing your sleep, managing your diet, your water, your protein. And remember, I didn't mention this earlier, actually, I just thought of this, but All of those things feed into your testosterone levels. And if you're a man and you have really low T levels, that's going to really impact every area of your life in a really negative way. So don't let that happen. And lastly, the fourth area is going to be a vision and time management system, right? So you have a system for your vision of where you're heading and writing your goals down. You have a system for time management so that you're actually, every day keeping track of where you are and where you're going and making sure you actually get to the gym to lift weights. And with those four things, you should be able to transform your physique way faster than you thought possible. And if I had those four things from the very beginning, man, I don't know, because that's years of progress that I could have had those things done. See, my journey that I went on, right, for my transformation, that if I had those four key elements right there, I probably could have cut down the amount of time it took by about a year, because I wouldn't have been spending a ton of time wondering, should I do this, should I do that? Should I be bulking? Should I be cutting? Should I be doing this? Oh, I skipped a session because I didn't understand all these things about cheap dopamine. I didn't understand all these things about time management system or having a vision or a habit tracker or, goal setting. I didn't understand any of this shit. And so it took me way longer. Not even that, but just finding the right exercises, working the right muscles. It took me a long time to build the physique that I wanted to build. And I'm not even there yet, but I'm a lot closer than I was. And I'm really proud of the progress that I made, and it's really changed me as a person. So I just wanted to share this with you today so that you have this information now, and I would really recommend you act on it now, because otherwise you're just going to watch this video, forget about it, and you're going to go on to YouTube and watch a bunch of other videos and nothing's going to change. So at least write these things down and act on them, right? And if you want an actual program, if you want my workout program that I've used with exercises, the split and everything, check that first link in the description, click on it. Only thing you have to do is just put your email in and then it will be sent to you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.